Been a couple days, and I have a major update. For the last couple years, I've tried to get myself into a relationship just because I'm 25, and as a 25-year-old male that's in his prime, it's obviously something that I want to pursue and have a family one day and all this stuff. It's nice. Well, 95% confident I got a girl. I got a girlfriend. So here's the thing. Back in the day, I don't know how it was for like the older gen and stuff, but from what I'm learning about right now, I really cared about money like a lot because I was like, oh, what am I gonna spend it on next for like a car part and stuff. And now that I got a girlfriend, it's bro, women are expensive. Like the main thing that I'm learning, and I haven't had a girlfriend for like 3 years. The other two cheat on me. It's fine. Life goes on. Um, you know, as a man, you should always be grateful for spending the time that you get with that woman. Um, you should always be grateful, thankful, and be blessed to be in her presence. Like, even if it's mutual feelings, it's just like, you treat her wrong. That's it. It's like the one that I found is amazing. She's got plans to go to graduate school, which is in a couple weeks here, to be a clinical psychiatrist. Her dad's child psychiatrist. Her family's got money. I didn't grow up poor. I didn't grow up rich. I grew up in the higher middle class. Both of our parents are past their 60s. Or not past their 60s, sorry. They're in their middle 60s, if not higher 60s. So here's some things that I want to point out. It's kind of hard for relationships to be successful nowadays, especially in different social classes. So say, you had a man that came from a family that may have just done somewhat well, and then a girl that came from a very rich or very like more above average lifestyle, right? Things are gonna probably not go super smoothly because obviously the guy's not used to that. Like, he just thinks that this is too much, like blah blah blah. And vice versa. Like, obviously, like the girl's gonna want that so much. Maybe she's gonna end up only caring about that, and then obviously if something goes wrong, she's gonna be like, oh no, now it's gone. Which I had actually in a previous relationship. We went to each other's houses for the first time, and one of the notes that she made is that she's like, your house is so much nicer than mine. I mean, I didn't choose to live the life I had lived. I was born into a life where my parents were 40 years old when I was born. It's like, versus like the girl that I got now come from the same thing. We're both twins. So I'm hoping that if this lasts, the kids don't come out as twins. We both want the same number of kids. 3. I'm shooting for my DDS. I keep pursuing that. I'll say this in another video about that. But we both want longevity. We both want the best of the best. And we both want to live a nice life. Like, we work hard for it and all this stuff. And she supports me on literally everything, even like the social media stuff. It's like, it's nice. And her parents already want to meet me and all this. And like, it's great. It's actually like nothing's wrong with it. Like, there's no red flags at all. I think the only struggle that I'm having is that, like, obviously social media depicts these like, stupidly attractive women that you're just like, in awe about. And obviously, like, I think it's always best to find someone that you're attracted to, but also that you think is really beautiful. And that's who I think this woman is. But obviously, like, social media plays that role of like, oh my God, here's when they're like, you know. So I think that's the only struggle that I have because I'm in that social media realm. But I know that's not real. Like, none of that stuff is real. Obviously, when you go to colleges, there's that play too, but I think as a 25-year-old, it's just like I'm realizing that as long as the sex life is good, she treats you well, she's very responsible, and she has a good head on her shoulders. That's really all that matters, because at the end of the day, your job as a man is to one day provide, one day conquer, and one day be the father, if you're having kids, be the father that you always dreamed of being. And her job is to follow her dreams as well, be a mom if she wants kids, and live life to the fullest. So, it's like, it's a blessing, really. These gentlemen, if you're watching this, brother, I'm telling you, if you find this really, really sexy goddess of a girl, and she gives you somewhat of a time. I mean, I'm doing it with my buddy. It's like my buddy, I feel bad because he got into a situationship where they were texting, and all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, I just had a really busy day, which was the girl. And then, you know what? She ghosted him. It's like a majority of the girls out there, women, yeah, I'm going to say girls because the women are more mature. The girls out there are just, they're immature. They don't want something real. And my experience here, I'll tell you this too. So I've dated older before, and older never really goes smoothly for me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because my maturity level is just not there, or never really was, I guess. I don't know. But let's see, when I was 21, I dated a girl that was 24. When I was 23, I dated a girl that was 24 again, I think it was. 23, 24. And then when I was 24, I dated a girl that was 31. And believe it or not, these were all only like a month or two long. Because you realize how much changes between 21 and 25, and then 25 and 30. Like, you have to understand, most people are starting their careers, most people are having families, getting married, all this stuff. And it's like, when you find those outliers that don't have any of that stuff and come from a iffy background and all this stuff, it's like personalities clash and you just don't understand it. Sometimes you can't cope with it that well, and that's fine, because that brings up the whole thing again with the social classes. Like, it sucks. As bad as it sucks, it's the truth. It's like, obviously, when you're with somebody, you want to be like, oh my God, I want to create this really nice life. I want to create this really fancy life. Truthfully, man, 90% of us are going to go to college because we have to go and study to do this and that, because we cannot simply start either a business that's super successful and having our own, like, nice house, nice cars, nice business, anything, okay? And that's fine. But, that's why you go to get the education, so that way you can provide. And I'm honestly, I'm very lucky that I have such a strong interest in dentistry. I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't regret it at all. Honestly, it's the best decision of my life to do an assistant program. It showed me the ins and outs without spending so much money on it, and got me a decent pay. Obviously, I wish I started at 20, but life happens for a reason. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. But I'm 25. I'm fucking young. Like, I know it seems like I'm not, but 25 is young. Technically, if I went through, I'd be graduated out of dental school at 27, but I for sure would not have been able to diagnose and have the confidence to be that at 27. So, I definitely am glad I started it now. But that's why we're in the relationship too, because having a decent and healthy relationship also means that you have support systems. So having a girlfriend is expensive, but I think it's worth it on so many levels, because it could be your future wife, could be the future mother to your kids, could be that future support system. Unfortunately, money rules this world. I wish it didn't, but obviously it does, and there's no stopping that. So, yeah, guys, I have a girlfriend. It's cool. It's nice. nice to have somebody that's not gonna like cheat on you and all this stuff. Well, fingers crossed that doesn't happen, but everything's been good.